As a point of reference, last year the board was very concerned about the fact that we were losing members, and also that was being reflected certainly in our financial picture. So we became concerned about that, and Tim Worthington, as president, then asked 5 of us to meet with him, and we talked about developing a strategic plan. In the first slide here, you'll note that the foundation did approve Flashpoint last July. We had an initial meeting, and we met with the committee chairs. We wanted to know basically what the grassroots were thinking, what kind of things, how could we improve things and make things better. So they met with us. In the second box there, you can see that during August, we had an expanded committee, and we worked hard to develop the process that we were going to use, and also to agree on some basic concerns. We had a broad spectrum. We wanted to bring that into some focus, so we had something to work on. And they worked on that, and we set that up. In box 3 then, basically from September to mid-October, the member survey was completed, and as you were certainly aware of that, you participated in it. And then later on, as you can see in box 5, the committee worked hard. We developed strategic and action plans, and we're here today to present them to you.
I'm going to talk about our short-term goals, our long-term goals, the survey findings, some best practices, and our specific areas of focus. The input we received from our meeting with past presidents a couple of weeks ago was they wanted to see more specifics. So today we're going to get very specific, and we have a total of 6 people that are going to talk in 30 minutes, so I'm going to jump right in. Our anticipated outcomes within 1 year, we want to solidify our mission, our vision, and our values, and then start getting down to specifics. We want to pick off some easy wins, as they say. We want to start doing some things we can do pretty easily, just as we changed the format of the meeting today. Longer term, we want to increase our standing in the community and make sure that we are perceived as vital as we believe we are in the community, which comes down to communication in the community, and communication to our members. We want to build a sustainable member base and increase the level of value that members perceive. We'll talk more about that later. The mission did a lot of wordsmithing in the retreat as far as coming up with this mission, but we want to provide service opportunities through quality programs that benefit our youth and community. Our vision is to have a dynamic, diverse, and engaged membership that will transform the community by first having a measurable impact on children and youth, creating meaningful member connections in a vibrant and fun way. Many of you filled out the member survey. We had over 40% response rate, which is above the 10% average. So we had very good response to the survey. When people were asked, why do you believe our club exists? All but one response indicated the club's primary purposes are to serve the community and to help children. And you can see the ranking on the page, on the screen, and also in the handout that you see. Number 1, the respondents said to serve children, and then secondly, be active, and then to network and support the foundation. The changes as far as sustainability, when the feedback we received from the survey was that our recruitment methods need to change. Many aspects of the weekly meeting need to change. We need to promote our mission and our events better, not just focus on the Friday meetings, and update our organizational model, and many of our activities become more relevant and more suitable for today's business world. This was very telling. This was a sobering slide as far as, do you believe the club communicates the value of membership? Almost half the respondents said we do not communicate the value of membership. This was another telling slide. When asked about the most important programs that we conduct every year, Abe Lincoln came up far and above anything else. Sponsored clubs were second, Salvation Army, fostering families, and then on down the list. This is another interesting slide. Many of us have perceived this, and we've seen this, but never seen it in the chart form. This goes back to 1950 and tracks our membership. And this tracks Kiwanis International and civic organizations in general. As demographics have changed, membership has changed. But there was a steady climb through 1989 where we topped out at over 500 members. Since then, we've had a steady decline. Much of this reflects societal changes and demographic changes, but it also shows that we haven't adapted to stay relevant and to stay important to a changing culture. Now we're going to get more into the specific strategies And for that, I'll turn it over to Pat Dudzinski.
On screen is our first objective, to enhance our club's reputation through marketing. Consequently, membership growth, significant membership growth. Susan and Jeremy and Patricia will discuss this further. The strategy specifically is to develop and fund a marketing plan that promotes to current members, the community and media outlets, the fact that our club is a vital and premier member service organization. Now, initially, what we're going to do is explore what resources are needed, including defining and hiring professional assistants, what those resources will cost us, and where we can secure funding.
I have the privilege of talking to you about our second objective of the day, which is to enhance our club reputation through marketing. With what Pat just talked to you about, is we are trying to increase membership in targeted segments. So what that means really is we are going out into the community, and we've already done this with the Young Professionals group, which has changed its name to The Loop, is going out there and finding what people have in common, getting them to come in together. And with our group, people have in common, they care about the community, they care about the children, and they care about each other. We are a great big family of people that stick together and have a great time. So through that, what we're doing is we're going out and actively recruiting and engaging people together. Coming to a Friday meeting, this isn't what we're all about. We're about the kids, and we're about the community service. So it's encouraging people to come to a community service project with us, to come to the Abe Lincoln Scholarship Awards. It's that time to come together when you really get to know each other. You'll hear a lot of people that will talk about going to a tree planting, and that's when they understood Kiwanis. That was their Kiwanis moment, and that's when they really wanted to become engaged and involved in our organization.
It was abundantly clear when we did the survey that we really needed to enhance the member experience. What does that mean? When you come here today, you come in, you sit at the same tables, you talk to the same people, we have the same routine, we go back to work, and you feel sort of empty. Or maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but it was on the survey. So one of the things we wanted to look at is when you come in here, how do you feel about that? So create meaningful connections. How can we connect in a way that's just beyond, hey, how's your Friday? Are you excited about the game this weekend? How can we define a clear path for engaging new members? So when you join our club, do you feel connected to everyone or just a few people? So how can we enhance the connections? Maybe it's spending some time each meeting getting to know somebody new. Maybe it's spending some time on within one of our committees with other people. As you can see, by reorganizing, we're defining clear accountabilities for these. One of the pitfalls of a strategic plan is not doing anything with it. So in each of our areas, you'll see that there are 2 people, 3 people, and in one case, about 10 people that are accountable for making sure that we make these things happen. Next slide, please. I want to talk about the Loop events. The Loop events that we brought in last year are really a great way to bring people from the outside.
I want to talk to you about programs and service projects. If you looked at page 3 of your handout, you'll notice about 10 programs. But if you look in our directory, there are at least twice that many programs. Sometimes it's a program with 1 member. So one of the things that we notice from our survey results is we want to look for overlap and an opportunity to combine programs. And we're not going to do this willy-nilly, but we want to do it in a logical, thought-through process. But one of our objectives is to make the programs and the service projects our focal point for the club, the focal point to the community at large. When they think of Kiwanis Club downtown, they'll think of Abe Lincoln and other programs. And internally, we will think of certain programs and say, yes, that's what I want to get involved with. That's where my passion is. We've got an action plan. You've got some names up there: Rogers, Don Steele, Steve Kellums. We've got some time frames, April and May. They're not engraved in stone, but we think we can pull this off by then. We want to conduct an impact analysis and analyze grant applications.
Those of us involved in the process and the board have become very excited about the future of our club. And we're energized. We've been surprised at the response of people with the past president's meeting. The surveys were full. There were a couple of pages that were completely full of comments. But as we know, the strategy is the easy part. So now we're transitioning the strategic plan into an action plan.